As India celebrates the 75th year of its independence from British rule, Ireland has just marked the 100 years of its liberation from British rule. As in India, independence in Ireland brought partition along religious lines between a largely Catholic Republic of Ireland and mainly Protestant Northern Ireland here, which remained loyal to the British, inspired by the 17th century King William, who was fiercely Protestant and anti-Catholic. A great deal of violence has followed since, a good deal of conflict between the two Christian communities. That violence eased off in the late 90s, but now divisions and tensions are rising again. Those divisions stand out sharply on the walls running through Belfast, separating Protestant from Catholic areas. The graffiti on these walls speaks a picture of political expression and political opposition, depending on which side of the wall you are reading it from. Some leaders have made moves to pull these walls down, but they are still there on the insistence of people on both sides of the divide. They say they want their neighborhood intact with the walls there to separate one from the other. So this here is one of the peace walls of Belfast. Peace walls as they are called. The Berlin Wall has come down, these peace walls have not. And this is a generation after the Good Friday Agreement of 1998 that ended the worst of the violence. Several leaders have called for these walls to be brought down, but the people in the neighborhood want them there. Here we have Catholics living on this side of the wall, Protestants on the other side of the wall. Peace has returned, but togetherness is some distance away. There can never be a doubt which side of the wall or whose side of the wall you're on. The Union Jack, the flag of St. George's Cross says it all. These are emphatically Protestant areas insistent upon continuing union with the United Kingdom. And the walls mourn and mark those who died in that cause in their fight against the Irish Republican Army. That was the militant face of the Republicans, the Catholics on the other side. Soldiers, those who fought for the Protestant and the Unionist cause, who died in this fight, are remembered. People are being asked to forget, but no one wants to forget. The Protestant hero continues to be the 17th century King William, or William Orange as he is commonly called. He was staunchly Catholic and fiercely anti-Protestant, and his ideals continue to inspire the Unionists to the day, and they continue to remind themselves of him and what he stood for all over Belfast. On the other side of the wall, Catholic Republicans have their own story to tell and their own heroes to remember and to mourn. Heroes such as Bobby Sands, who died in prison following hunger strike. Over a period of time, this has become a wall for political expression and expression of militant political rights from all over the world. This has become a place to mark struggle and to mark sacrifices in the achievement of the rights that people look for around the world. But they have done little to lessen the divide on either side of these walls. These walls, impossibly high, impossible to breach, keeping Protestants on one side, Catholics on the other, both white, Christian, Western European, and unable to face one another, unable to bear living across from one another. In India, Hindus and Muslims have had issues every now and then, but at the worst of times, no one has ever thought of building walls to separate the two. Almost a quarter of a century since the Good Friday Agreement of 1998 has brought some calm and a good deal of progress. And while barriers remain, efforts do continue to get past these divisions and to take steps towards togetherness.
I think, Sanjay, if you look at the walls, they are still quite thick and deep. It will take years to come down, We are on the right track, but I think there are still processes going on at different levels. At community level, there are, trying to integrate. At the school level, there have been a lot of schools which have been opened, which are called integrated schools. In that, both the Catholic, Protestants and Asian students, they do go. So I think if they work together, there are a lot of work being done at the political level, different parties, the new parties which has come off from the Unionist and Republican is the Alliance Party, which is increasing slowly in numbers, and people are recognizing that we need a second or third power which will probably unite. So I think it will still take time.
Indians such as Dr. Singhal are playing their part in rebuilding the Northern Ireland of today, but the old years of the violence since the late 60s were still not without a happy Indian footnote. For you as an Indian, what was the experience? How did you manage?
That's where we were lucky, that we were outsiders and we could mediate between both sides or go into each other's areas. As in many of our people being businessmen and businesswomen, when they came, the only reason why we were able to go into both areas was because of our color. And where their old people could not cross the peace lines, we were neutral and we could do business on both sides and take advantage of the situation. And that's where our people not only helped the economy here, but also became flourished. And in the textile industry, our people became factory owners, and they did a lot until up to 70s when the textile industry died down.